Hello, I am Rupa PC, Assistant Professor in Commerce, Sri Shankaranand Singh Government First Grade College, Hospet. Today's session is about materials, and this is the ninth session of the Cost Accounting BCom 5th semester, Vijayanagara Shri Krishna Devaraya University. Today's session's objectives are to learn about material and its importance, and to know about the material cost control and its need, and to know the advantages of material cost control, and to know the functions of the purchase department, and to know about the purchase procedure, and also know about the functions of the storekeeper, and to know about the store records, that is bin card and stores ledger. What is material? Material is the first and the most important element of cost in production industries. The commodities that are used in production or manufacturing industry in crude or virginal form are called materials. Materials include raw materials, components, tools, consumable stores, spare parts, etc. The term inventory includes materials, work in progress, finished goods. Thus, material is a part of inventory. Importance of material. So, in production industries, 60 to 70% proportion in the total cost of production will be material cost. An uninterrupted supply of raw materials of acceptable quantity and in required quantity as and when required by the production departments is a prerequisite for carrying out production activities smoothly. Non-availability of raw materials brings the entire production activities to a standstill. Material includes raw materials. Those are the basic materials supplied in crude form to be used for production. Example, jute, cotton, steel, timber, rubber, coal, etc. Components are not raw in nature, rather are finished parts made out of raw materials which are assembled to make the finished products. Example, ties and tubes in cycle industries, stabilizers in AC and fridge manufacturing, batteries in car manufacturing, monitors in computer manufacturing, etc. Tools are the appliances used in the manufacturing operations. Example, hammers, screwdrivers, drills, milling cutters, etc. Consumable stores are the items used for smooth running of machines. Example, lubricants, oil, cotton waste, racks, brooms, etc. Spare parts are used for the maintenance of plant and machinery and buildings and for smooth running of production schedule. Material includes both direct and indirect materials. Direct materials are those which can be easily measured and traced to the manufacture of a product. They form a part of the finished product. For example, leather used in making pair of shoes or yarn required for cloth or direct materials. Indirect materials are those which cannot be conveniently or accurately allocated to a particular unit of product. They are consumed but do not form a part of the final product. For example, nails used in making shoes or button or threads used in ready-made clothes are indirect materials. So what is material control? Material control is a systematic control over the purchasing, storing and using of material so as to minimize the cost. Material control refers to managerial activities relating to giving instructions or directions to ensure maintaining adequate quality and quantity of material for uninterrupted production process with the objective of minimizing material cost per unit. In simple words, it is a system which ensures that right quality of material is available in the right quantity at right time and right place with the right amount of investment. As material constitutes such a significant part of the production cost, and since this is controllable, proper planning, purchasing, handling and accounting for the are of great importance. So what are the objectives of material control? First one is to ensure the supply of adequate quantity of material. Sufficient quantity of material should be made available for all the activities and departments in the organization so that an uninterrupted production can be carried on and work does not stop due to non-availability of materials. Second one is to optimum investment in materials. Keeping the amount invested in materials under control is a central objective of material control. Locking up of funds in stocks results in mismanagement of working capital. Overstocking should be avoided in view of disadvantages. Excessive investment and overstocking can be avoided by fixing maximum stock level for all the major items of materials. So third one is favorable terms of purchase. The purchase price and other terms of purchase should be of maximum advantage to the firm. At the same time, quality and specification of the material should be as per requirements. Fourth one is control of wastage. Wastage of materials during the storage and handling on the production floor should be minimized. Standards can be fixed for wastages and efforts can be made to keep the actual wastage below the standard level. Pilferage, theft, etc. should be minimized to keep material cost within control. Fifth one is control of obsolescence and spoilage. Loss due to materials becoming out of date or getting spoiled and unusable is a major cause for material losses. Fixing stock levels and utilizing materials in time can minimize such losses. Sixth one, proper reporting to management. Management has to be informed frequently about stock of raw materials so that production is planned. This is possible only if there is proper reporting system and updating of records by the storekeeper. Seventh one is prevention of misappropriation of materials. Proper internal check of receipts, issues and consumption of raw materials helps in prevention of misappropriation of materials by the employees. Eighth is proper control system for settlement of invoices. Suppliers invoice is to be paid only after verifying the physical receipt of materials to avoid excess payment to the suppliers. So what are the advantages of material control? An effective material control system ensures availability of materials for production. It reduces wastage of raw materials, achieves economy of buying and storage cost, reduces pilferage, theft, obsolescence and other material losses, avoids excessive investment in stocks, helps in maintaining perpetual inventory system to furnish information to management regarding materials, helps in ascertaining value of jobs, process and orders. So now let us learn about the purchase department. Purchases are made by the purchase department. Purchasing department is to make the purchase of the required quantity of various items of materials at right time of good quality at the most economical price. It procures materials at most favorable terms consistent with maintaining the desired standard of quality. If the business concern permits, it should have separate purchase department. The top management lays down the purchase policy and the purchase department makes the purchases accordingly. The purchase department must answer the following questions: what to purchase, when to purchase, where to purchase, how much to purchase, at what time to purchase. Now let us learn about the purchase procedure. A systematic and well defined procedure should be followed to make the purchase of the raw material, as any lapse in the procedure may result in the stoppage of production. The purchase procedure normally involves five important steps. First step is purchase requisition. A form known as purchase requisition is commonly used as a format requesting the purchase department to purchase the required material. Normally, the purchase requisition is issued by the stores department when the quantity of the concerned material reaches the minimum level. Second step is to select the suitable supplier. After the receipt of purchase requisition, the purchase department places an order with the supplier offering to buy certain material at stated price and terms. However, before issuing the purchase order, quotations may be invited from various suppliers for arriving at the best deal. Third step is to place order for supply. Purchase order is issued to the selected supplier. The purchase order is a legal document or a record of agreement between the purchaser and the seller. The purchase order should be normally prepared on the printed forms and should contain all the necessary details such as quantity, quality, specifications of goods, rates approved, place and date of delivery, mode of transport and terms of payments, etc. Fourth step is to receive and inspect the materials. The responsibility of the receipt of materials and inspection of the same is entrusted either to the storekeeper himself or to the receiving department and inspection department. The receiving department receives, unloads, unpacks, checks and quantity of material is received. So fifth step is to verify the invoice and pass it for the payment. After receiving the invoices from the supplier, they are sent to the stores and accounting departments for the verification of the quantity and the price of materials mentioned in the invoices. After checking the required documents, the stores department requests the accounting department for making the payment of the invoice to the supplier. So let us learn about the stores department. Stores department plays an important role in controlling of material cost by requisitioning only the required materials in the required quantities at the right time and by preventing all types of losses of materials in the stores department. It can contribute heavily to the control of costs. The stores department is headed by a person called storekeeper. The storekeeper is responsible for stores control. The main functions of the stores department are given below. First one is to initiate purchase requisitions for materials based on the position of stock. Second is to maintain various levels of stock. Third is to receive the materials from the receiving and inspection department. Next is to check the materials received by comparing the purchase requisition and place them in the proper bins. Next is to issue the materials on the receipt of material requisition from various department. So another function of the storekeeper is to maintain the store records like bin cards by entering the receipts, issues and balance of the materials. And the next function is to send the periodical reports to the management regarding slow moving, dormant and obsolete materials to enable them to take suitable decisions to avoid the losses. Last but not the least, to take the preventive action against the deterioration, evaporation, absorption of moisture, fire, theft, etc. So what are the store records? There are two important store records known as bin card and stores ledger. First one is bin card. A bin card is a card showing the quantitative record of the receipts, issues, balances of the materials kept in the concerned bin. Bin is a place or box or almirah where the materials are kept. It is the statement of all the receipts, issues of materials and is maintained by the storekeeper and kept in the stores department. It records only quantity of material and not the value. It is updated when the receipts and issues are made. Next record is stores ledger. Stores ledger is a record of stores both in quantity and value. This record is identical with the bin card except in respect of values. This contains the account for every item of stores and makes a record of receipts, issues and balances both in quantity and value.